Yes, I did get a haircut, and it's Saturday back at the Dayton Mall again. So everything is pretty much well organized now. It took me about close to about 2 hours to try to get everything reorganized and looked at. There's a few things that I had picked up just in the past hour. Really, there was one guy that was walking around with vintage stuff. He's got more. Hopefully, you'll bring him in next time. But there was a non-First Ed Kabuto Hollow, and then the E3 Stamp Pikachu. Not red stamp or red cheeks. That one ended up being a $49 pickup. It's still kind of early, and it is a little bit empty at the moment. I think a lot of people are getting ready for Collecticon next weekend, which that's what I'm doing, or they're just waiting for Grove City Card Fest, which is going to be tomorrow. At the moment, I'm just in a processing of going through all of these. We got Gundam stuff that I've got to price out, and unfortunately I haven't had a chance to get all that updated yet. That's mostly the update at the moment. I don't know what today or this whole weekend's gonna do, but we're gonna have to wait and see what happens. But just getting as much as I can right before Collecticon next week. I'm very excited about that. As usual, I will let you guys know if anything does happen, and yeah, should be a fun weekend. So the gentleman that had gotten a lot of V-Card stuff from me the last time, they came back and they pulled the chase out of the last set. So on top of that, with Michi as well, so they basically made their money back just on these two alone. And yeah, they're picking up more of these. They're picking up one of the Steel Requiems that I have left over, so this is now officially gone. Prismatics, which I'm shocked these have gone up so much. And then, of course, one of the Phantom Arias. I had a few of these left over, so these are now officially gone. And yeah, they're going to try to see about getting more of these out, and they just owe $3 on top. And they're pretty much also giving us that too, the chase from the new set too. So yeah, pretty good deal. Selling out the Mega Alakazam EX, and it's going away for $80. What do you know? Another Alakazam sold. So the full art or secret rare, whichever it was, and this one is going away for $77. All right, first amount of trainers that we are getting rid of for the show. Blaine's Last Stand, the last copy of that, and then AZ, that is the last one of that one as well, and it's going away to a customer for $65. So that Meowth did not last long, and we are getting the other chase card from the set for Clefable EX SAR, and they're trading this and giving us $5 on top, so that did not last very long. So it's not going to Collecticon, it's going to basically the partner list over there. It's this gentleman right here. He's visiting the booth, so he's getting that from us, adding 65 on top, and trading us the PSA 9 Mimikyu, Eevee and Snorlax promo, the Zard promo, and then this almost is near mint, but it is damaged. It has a few marks on it, so I don't know. That might be possible to get fixed, but we're just counting it as damage. So yeah, it's sad we didn't have these for very long. Microphone is off at the moment. I have to get it fixed, but selling off the Primal Kyogre EX and then the Mega Sharpedo EX all together for $280. I almost messed up. It's selling off the Ins Trainer, the full art secret rare, whichever it was, and giving it away to a vendor for $130. So this is probably the single biggest trade for the weekend so far. He brought in all of the vintage Pokemon stuff. The worst of the bunch is yellow, but I mean, they're still very hard to get a hold of for the booth, but they're always good fillers. And they're picking up the Flareon EX. We adjusted the price down to $200 on that one. Mega Lucario EX, and then the Gyarados EX, and they just owed $20 cash on top. So we ended up doing a quick trade. They saw the full art tag Lucario in no metal, and they brought in a couple of kind of mid-era. Well, I wouldn't really say mid-era, but there was stuff from Lost Origins and even Perfect Order. So their trade altogether, it was around 47. So they're just trying to find a $2 card out of one of the binders. So I have been very behind, and everybody knows I pick up video game stuff. Getting ready for another show. I don't think did I document all this? I'm going to have to go back and check the footage, but I'm pretty sure I already covered all of that. So For $264, I picked up like a decent amount of DS, 3DS stuff, some Pokemon Red, Blue. This is case only. That was like I think about $20 roughly about that. But yeah, that's complete. Ultra Sun and Moon era stuff. Then yeah, it was a pretty good pickup because we will basically be getting a bunch of these out, and yeah. Happy to get more in. That PSA 9 Flareon that I had, or PSA 8, it was like in that corner. We ended up doing an even trade for this bad boy here, and I don't ever usually do PSA 1s, but the fact that Expedition is very popular at the booth, I always will be happy to pick them up, and PSA 1 Zard stuff is very popular. I think we were looking at comps, they were around 150, but I'm probably going to be pricing it around more closer to like 140 because, you know, Charizard's usually pretty popular. But yeah, we just basically did an even trade for both. Phone is dead again, I do apologize, but selling off the Houndoom EX super rare for $30. Microphone died on me again, so I won't get them on camera, but it was about 600 worth of cards, and they picked up a lot of the other big ones, the main one being the Garchomp that I just got recently, and I had owed them about 250 cash on top, so that, yeah, one really good pickup. Microphone is still dead. I have to figure out why that's having problems with me right now. But good old Micah is back. How are you, man?
Good.
Well, he brought in a bunch of stuff for us to go through. Didn't really take everything, but still there was like a good amount of like vintage. Probably the most newer would be Hilda Full Art. And then they are getting the Charizard slab that I just put out, and we're getting their Slowking in an 8. And they're also picking these two up. This had gone up to 50, but I maintained that, and then this was down to 95, so I did that adjustment. And they just owed 30 on top. How do you feel about that?
Feel great. Thank you.
Anytime. Good to see you, man.
Good
and yeah, 30 on top.
So
You're, what are we doing?
we are. I don't want to say it. I feel bad for saying it. Should I just say it as is?
Well, let's just say that I'm having to pay the Mafia, so that's kind of what all of this is going for. So I had just picked that up earlier. The Bidoof has like been left over, and then these I had like weird prices on. So he's basically giving me a loan of 200, and I just owed him the card. So he pretty much helped me out.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, thank
Subscribe
you.
to this guy, bro.
And subscribe to him, TC
Legend.
Leaf.
Twin Leaf, TCG.
Twin Leaf. I don't know why I said TC Leaf, but yes, follow him on Instagram. It's very early in the morning, but this is going to be the first sale of the day, the Reverse Hollow Togepi from Dragon Frontiers, and going to a vendor for 22. First, well, consider it a big trade, but that was pulled out of my booster box, or one of the like structure decks. Yeah, because that was the one that was inside the pack for the Hollow, and they brought in these both near mints. The only downside of it is there's like a small spot on it, but it's still near mint. So we did a even trade for that, so happy to see that get a good home. So Glare in all, I ended up snagging some stuff from one of my regulars. They brought in a bunch of more promo stuff, but this was kind of the main thing to start it off. There was like around 200 or so like dollars worth of cards. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of cash to be able to use for any more inventory money for now. So what we ended up snagging were a couple of the Dittos. These used to be like $4 for a while, and they have like jumped up. There's a couple of baby shinies, some yarn art stuff. I mean, they're going to be popular at Collecticon or here. So just picked up like all of this. It was like around 125 in cash is what we gave them. Big stuff, a Glaceon V-Star, and then Sealed Snorlax. These are always popular, and they do well for around 30. So that was a pretty good little pickup. All right, so this took a little bit to get through, but overall this was roughly about 260, but we went down to around closer to 250 on trade, and there's a good amount of like near mint stuff. This is not near mint. We had to verify for that. And there's a lot of really good filler, including the Flareon EX from Generations. So that was sad to see it go, but it's going to a good home. I won't get the family on camera, but they brought in these three first, and then the Expedition base reverse hollow Blastoise and a PSA 8. They picked up most of the other vintage stuff from Caleb's binder, so good to see all of these get a new home, and they just owed $10 cash on top. All right, a few things sold off, selling off a few of the trainers for $70, and then another customer is paying this for $27. I haven't really been recording much today, so I do apologize. They originally wanted these two, and unfortunately I didn't have a lot of cash. They had more stuff on hand, so I had to pass up a bunch, but the best one of the bunch is the Reshiram. I believe it's like Legendary Treasures, and then a few other like vintage ones as well, and we just owed them 20 cash on top. All right, the last of these simplified Chinese arts are officially gone, and we dropped it down for a customer for $55. So I'm a bit delayed as far as like pickups. I mean, the whole entire case has been kind of cleared out a lot lately, so I haven't had a chance to like go through that. I mean, look at everything that I've picked up in like the span of, I don't know, like past 2 days. So this right here was from one customer. I almost picked up more stuff from them, but I'm just like very limited as far as cash. They had a Roaring Skies sleeve pack that I unfortunately had to pass on at the moment. But I mean, just the amount of like vintage stuff here. The Gardevoir, this one was like a hollow bleed, and it's kind of a little bit hard to see right in the corners, but I mean, there's like a decent amount of stuff, like even the sealed Toys R Us promos somebody was asking us for, so we gave them around 186 in cash, and that to me is going to top me out for the rest of the weekend. Currently doing a deal at the moment. I'll get through that here in a bit, but selling off the Gardevoir, the last Cynthia's Gardevoir, not Gardevoir, Garchomp, I'm mistaken on that, so altogether is going down to $255, so happy to see it at home. So we're finally getting rid of this, and it's right before Collecticon. So funny enough, they were looking for that before the show, and well, they're coming out with it, adding 100 on top, and a couple of decent stuff involved with it, along with a very weirdly miscut Psyduck from Ascended Heroes. So yep, it's going to good home. So the same group that I had just picked up, like all of that right there, they ended up selling for last amount of stuff, around $225 is what I had given them. The most expensive was the PSA 10 Leafeon from Terrestrial Festival, and then same thing with the Flareon from Terrestrial Festival, and a few things from Perfect Order. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I am picking up this weekend. Man, it got bright outside. I don't know if you guys can actually see how bright it is, but it's pretty bright. But yeah, it was cold this morning when I was making the drive out, but thankfully it's warmed up quite a bit. It feels like spring like it should and not winter. Can we get that a break until later this year? But that is it for the show. Thank you to everybody who dropped by the booth. Yeah, I am very exhausted. It was a busy 2 days, like this entire weekend. Both the city-to-city Poke Pop Shop and, of course, Grove City, which both never disappoint me whatsoever, and I am grateful to be a part of both shows and to continue to grow and do more stuff with people, but it is always a blast. But that is it from here all the way at the Grove City High School. Thank you very, very much for being a part of this journey for this whole weekend. But the big kahuna next weekend, from the time this video is out, is Collecticon. I am excited, and I am also bracing myself for how overwhelming it is. If it's anything like it was with Collector Palooza, then this one is gonna probably end up taking the cake from that. Well, love you guys very, very much. Have a good one, and as always, you know how I end these videos. Tired and all, and spring weather. Stay strong, stay positive, and most important of all, love ya. Have a good one.